Parental fatigue, burnout. If you're feeling this, we get it. But there's one thing we use when we're feeling depleted. It's called Rehydrate. Delicious electrolytes that increase blood flow to your brain, organs and nervous system, boosting your energy without anything nasty. Magic.
Next time you're feeling flat, give Rehydrate a go. Available at Coles.
It is very important to establish good eating patterns early in life so that when you go through the teenage years, you actually stick with a good diet.
It's the Happy Families Podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
This is Dr. Justin Coulson, and I'm here with my wife and co-host, Kylie, Mrs. Happy Families.
Today we're doing something a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're talking especially to parents of toddlers and preschoolers.
So today's bonus episode is brought to you by Optimal Toddler. Optimal Toddler aims to support parents on their mission to grow strong, healthy kids.
We have a special guest today with us from Careline. Her name's Sue. Welcome, Sue.
Hi, Justin and Kylie. Thanks so much for having me on the show today.
It's great to have you with us, Sue. A lot of people probably haven't heard of Careline. Can you tell us a bit about you and also a bit about Careline?
Sure. So I'm a registered nutritionist and I've been working on the Careline for about 8 years now. And I'm also a mum of 2 active boys. So at the Careline, we support all parents-to-be and parents and caregivers. And we support families to feed their children in a non-judgmental way that suits their feeding choices and their personal circumstances. We have a number of healthcare professionals at the Careline, nutritionists like myself, dietitians, and midwives. So we have plenty of advice that we can give from our own experience as well as our professional experience as well.
So it's about helping parents to feed their kids and make sure that they're getting the nutrition and the health that they need.
Absolutely, yeah. At the Careline, we're passionate about having the right diet and the right lifestyle before conception, during pregnancy, after birth, and through the child's early life, the first 1,000 days, so that we can set kids up for optimal health and really good immunity later in life.
What I love about that is just this non-judgmental space that parents can go to find support.
Yeah, because how many parents are like, my kids aren't eating, or, you know, everybody's got an opinion about what you're supposed to be doing. It's nice to actually have somebody that you can call.
Yeah, definitely.
And get that info.
So what are the most common questions you receive at Careline from parents?
So we mostly get questions about how to feed children and what's the best sort of diet so that they can stay healthy and have a good immunity. So that's the sort of questions we get. What can I feed my kids for good immunity? So the immune system's really important for us. It acts like a shield for our body, keeping the harmful things out like bacteria and viruses, but also allowing the good things in like the healthy foods that we eat. And the immune system needs to be able to recognise and react appropriately to those good and bad things it encounters. So, for example, a food allergy is when the immune system incorrectly identifies a good food as a harmful thing and then it reacts to it. Huh. So if we have a good immunity, it means that the body is able to fight off infections. You get less colds, and when kids do get sick, it's not as severe and they'll recover more quickly.
So this is really interesting to me because I always just had this idea, and parents usually come to me and they're like, I need my kids to eat. But you're sort of highlighting that eating is important, not just for growth, but this idea of immunity, this idea that the body is going to flourish and thrive if it can develop immunity to things that are otherwise going to deplete it and diminish it.
Absolutely.
I'm just sort of extending this immunity idea a little bit based on what you've just said. And what I'm thinking is immunity is not just about nutrition. It's about all sorts of other things. Like if you get enough sleep, you're going to build up your immunity. If you are physically active, you said you've got a couple of, growing active boys. We've got 6 daughters and we know how important those lifestyle factors like not just the food or the nutrition that's going into your body, but also the way you're moving your body, what you're doing with it. That's how we help to build healthy, happy children as well, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not just diet. It's all those other things as well. But being a nutritionist, of course, I'm most interested in the diet side of things. And if you do have a good diet, that will certainly set you up for a good immune system. So plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables, lean meats and low-fat dairy foods are really important to give the fibre and the vitamins and minerals that the immune system needs. Your fruit and vegetables actually provide prebiotics, which are fruit fibres, and they actually help the good bacteria in your gut to grow. Something else that's quite good too is letting your kids play outside, get in the dirt and play in puddles, play with the dog and the cat and give them a cuddle, and play with their peers as well. This exposes them just to really small amounts of common bacteria.
To germs, right?
The immune
you're
system.
Saying, let the kids get a bit germy. Yeah, okay. I like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've noticed over the years, Sue, we've had a couple of friends in particular who are really, kind of germ phobic, I'm going to suggest, and their house is immaculate and disinfected on every surface.
And I've got to say, I do like that.
I do too, and I do enjoy walking into their house because it smells amazing and clean.
It doesn't smell like ours is what you're saying.
But their kids are always sick, like always. There's always a tummy bug. There's always a cough or a sneeze. Like they're just sick all the time.
So in order for the immune system to actually recognise what's good and bad, it does actually need a bit of exposure to those things. And if we get exposure in small amounts of those common bacteria, then it kickstarts the immune system. So it's prepared for when it gets larger amounts of those sorts of bacteria later on, and then it can actually work effectively.
So play with the dog, but don't lick the dog.
Yes.
Well, it seems that our kids have had quite a lot of exposure to germs. We're doing all right there.
It's the Happy Families Podcast.
For a happier family, try a Happy Families membership, because a happy family doesn't just happen. Details at happyfamilies.com.au.
It's the Happy Families Podcast, the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now. So I'm fascinated by this whole microbiome thing, and I think that's got to do with this gut health stuff. I've read a little bit about it. It's not my area, right? Psychology is my area, but I'm fascinated with health. I'm really enjoying this discussion of immunity, and I'm really intrigued by this conversation about gut health. So I don't know a whole lot about it. What should I know, especially if I'm the parent of a little one? Is there anything beyond what you've just said that you could sort of add to explain? I mean, some people who are listening might not even know what the biome is, this microbiome thing. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So our gut is the starting point for our immune system. And actually about 70 to 80% of all our immune cells are found in the gut. And if you've got a really good variety and a good amount of the good bacteria in your gut, then your immune system's going to work well.
Right.
So the good bacteria in our gut fights off the bad bacteria that's also in our gut. And the more good bacteria you've got, the better your immune system works. And foods that promote the increased growth of that bacteria, which are prebiotics that I talked a little bit about before.
Yeah.
They come from your fruit and vegetable fibres that you're eating in your diet. So it is really important that you eat lots of good fruits and vegetables so that you can grow that good bacteria in your gut and keep it all nice and healthy, basically.
So I thought we were going to be having a conversation about preschoolers and toddlers, but this is just as applicable for us as grown-ups. It's just as applicable for our teenagers.
Absolutely. Key that you have a healthy diet throughout life, but it is also very important to establish good eating patterns early in life so that when you go through the teenage years and then out through to the adult years, you actually stick with a good diet rather than having a bad diet for the rest of your life.
What tips would you give to parents of children who just are not going to eat those healthy foods? You know, when we say delicious and nutritious, our kids kind of look the other way.
They go, warning, stay away. My parents are selling this food to me.
There's there's lots of things you can do, but the thing I find is the most important is that you need to give kids lots of variety of foods and give them to them in a lot of different ways. So they might not like a food raw, but they might like it cooked, for example. So I've got an example here of carrots. Really good food with vitamin A, good for our immune system. So carrots can be eaten raw. You can slice them, make them into sticks. You can grate it. You can steam carrots and have slices or sticks. You can mash carrots on their own or add them to other vegetables like parsnip, potato or sweet potato. You can stir-fry carrots with other vegetables. You can grate them into mince, curries, casseroles, or you can grab a nice carrot stick and dip it into a healthy dip like hummus or a yogurt dip. So lots of variety of how you give these foods to kids will help them to accept the food. One thing that some people don't realise is that small children actually can need about 10 times before they will actually accept a food. So you've got to offer it 10 times before they accept it.
And not necessarily 10 times in the same 10 seconds. It's like, I'm still laughing about the carrot thing because like we've got our two youngest of our 6 girls. One of them refuses to eat carrots unless they're raw. She will not eat them cooked in any way at all. So we'll sit down and we'll have our veggies, and every now and again we've got some steamed carrots or some stir-fried carrots or whatever, and she just goes to the fridge and pulls a carrot out and has that. But our youngest, she's making me mash the carrot into her potato. So I've got to do mashed potato for everyone else, and then I mash up a carrot and stick it into her potato. That's the only way she'll eat the carrot. It's mashed. I'm like, who eats mashed carrot? But I'm just laughing when you were saying that. I'm like, this is so real.
Yes, and it doesn't matter how they eat it, just so long as they're eating it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, yeah.
So if parents wanted more information, because there's so much here that we could unpack, but how would they go about getting it?
So anyone can give us a call at the Careline. Our service is free, and you can contact us via the phone, via live chat from any of our websites, and you can also email us at nutriciacareline@danone.com with any of your questions via email as well. So our team work really hard to keep up to date with the latest research, and most of us are also mums, so we've got lots of personal experience that we can help out with as well. And you can go to the Apta Nutrition Parents Corner as well. There's a section there that you can read about how to build resilience with your children.
I wish I had known about this resource when I was starting out as a mum.
Yeah, we had some challenges with ours, didn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, great stuff. Well, Sue, really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for engaging with us and talking to us about how we can help our little ones to get adequate and good quality nutrition.
Thanks, Justin and Kylie. It's been a pleasure.
That's Sue from Careline. Today's bonus podcast brought to you by Aptimal Toddler. Aptimal Toddler aims to support parents on their mission to grow strong, healthy kids. Hey, we really hope that you've enjoyed the podcast. If you have, we would be so grateful if you would dive onto the Apple Podcasts app and leave a rating and review. It's the reviews that help people to find the podcast and make their families happier. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Roulon from Bridge Media. Thank you, Justin, for your work. And our executive producer is Craig Bruce. If you'd like more info about how we can help your families to flourish, visit happyfamilies.com.au.